White here, and welcome to day 4 of all One for All versus the OUT. I cannot wait to get into it. Again, back on this screen just because I made a slight change. I have changed Dapper's typing from water to steel. Again, the reason for this because unfortunately didn't see yesterday's video. The team was very weak after Dapper went down to Wellaboom, because we towered water to try and counter the Kingambit. So I thought Tower Steel would be a pretty good tower type for Dapper, so we can still resist the grass moves coming from Wellaboom, but also still be able to resist the Iron Head that comes from Kingambit too. So that's the only change I've really made. I hope I don't make as many misplays as I did yesterday. And before we get on with the battles, please consider subscribing. So close to 50 subscribers, we'll really appreciate it if we could get there. And without further ado, let the battles begin. Here is our first battle with a bit, looks a bit like a nice bounce team. Got like defensive mons like Quagsire and Clefable. Got some offense with the Alolan Ninetales and the Cinderace. And especially the Iron Valiant. So we're actually going to lead off with Amy here. And oh yeah, I forgot to put Brick Break on Amy to help deal with Kingambit as well. But it also was really good for situations like this where they set up the Aurora Veil, we can break the Aurora Veil. No issues at all. And then we can just go for the Gigaton Hammer now. Predicting probably the switch out maybe into Cinderace or Corviknight. They go into Clefable and we barely miss out on the KO right there. Honestly, I thought we would have got the KO right there, but we can now just finish off with Play Rough. And we unfortunately do get the miss, and they do decide to trick, which is very interesting tech. So we get rid of the Clefable, which is honestly fantastic. Nice defensive threat gun. They will now go in to Cinderace. I think we have to go into Marina here to take the Power Ball, as they will opt to go for Swords Dance, which is very scary. But now the Power Ball is not Stab, so that is also a bonus. So we're staying here, go for the nice Surf, as they will go for the high jump kick. Does a lot of damage but doesn't KO us. Definitely want to keep Marina around, so we probably have to go into Dapper here, as they will just go for another high jump kick. Take some Rocky Helmet Chip, as they reveal to be Asgard Belly. So right here we definitely need to Will-O-Wisp, as they will go for the Power Ball. Does a lot of damage, but we will get the burn off. Again, I really want to save Dapper as well, just for the Iron Valiant. And we do have some of that we can heal a bit later on. So we could try go back into Marina, because I don't think Marina's that good this matchup, as they will set up another Swords Dance, which is very scary. They will finish it off with a high jump kick, but we can now just go into Summer. Oh no, they probably do have Quick Attack. Now thinking about it, so we probably would want to go into Zero here, go for the knockoff, get the KO, and that's awesome. So Cinderace has gone, massive threat out the way. The only real threat I can really see late game is definitely the Iron Valiant, as they will now go into Corviknight. Probably go for the Brave Bird. So we could just go back into Amy here, as they reveal the Iron Defense, which is very scary. As we do get rid of their Rocky Helmet, they do go for the Body Press, which is completely fine. We can now go into Dapper, go for the Night Pain Split on the Alolan Ninetales, which is fantastic. Again, that nice recovery right back, as they are most likely going to set up the Aurora Veil now. I don't think we can stop it, unfortunately. So we probably have to go into Dana here and just go straight for the side shot, try to get some nice damage in, as they will just go for Freeze Dry. We can take the hits, and wow, very defensive. As they would now start going for the Moonblast, we can just go for a side shot yeah again. Also very nice to store out the Aurora Veil turns. And as they will now go into Alien Valiant, they have to KO us here, I believe, or they will have to tell it to if they want to set up. And it's also good to scout to see what set it is. It does seem to be more in the special attack set, which is quite scary, to be honest. We can just go to Dapper. We should be able to take a Moonblast, as they will opt to go for the Carmine here. We have to go for the Stranger Steam now. Get some nice damage off, as they will now tell Ghost, go for Shadow Ball, get the KO. And unfortunately, I generally think this is game. Which is very unfortunate, as they can just go for Shadow Ball now. And then we can try Telesteel. There's no reason really to. We can try go for the knockoff here, but they will just get the KO. Very unfortunate, quite close indeed. I think the biggest misplay there was staying in with Dapper a bit too long. I think I should have just went into Summer instead of going into Zero on the Cinderace. I think that was my biggest misplay right there, but let's go into the next game. Smash it up here with some quite scary threats. Garchomp potentially being one, Kingambit being the other, Skeledig, very annoying defensive threat. Asui, Samwa and Weavile, but they are mainly physical. So we go lead off with Dapper here, as they do want to lead off with Garchomp. We can just go for the Will-O-Wisp here, as they will Telepoison, go for Stealth Rock, so we force the Teller, which is fantastic. We do have Defog on this monster, so we're not worried too much. And we can let them set up their last layer spikes and then go for the nice Defog. They do not have Goldango either, as they will now go into Asui and Samwa, which is very interesting. We can just go for Will-O-Wisp again, as they will opt to go for Knockoff, which is completely fine. Get the nice burn off on this monster, go for a nice Stranger Steam. They will opt to stay in here, go for a Wave Shell. We get the KO on the Asui and Samwa, which is fantastic. Almost a more dark team, apart from the Skeledig and Garchomp as well. As they will now go into Weavile. We can just go for Will-O-Wisp again. I don't know why they're not going into Galarian Moltres. And now we can just go for Stranger Steam, as they will opt to Triple Axel. Unfortunately, have lost our Rock Helmet. Barely miss out on the KO, but we do get the Confusion. They do manage to land, which is fine from this position. I believe I am just potentially scared off an Ice Shard. So we just go into Marina here and opt to just go for the Moonblast. As they do just hit themselves with Confusion, we get the KO, which is fantastic. Bit worried about the Kingambit, as the Garchomp will now come back out, which does make perfect sense. We can just go for a Surf, hope for the KO. Barely miss out, so they will get one layer spiked up to, which is completely fine. Marina looks incredible late game here. We can also Telewater, as they will now go into Kingambit, so we'll Telewater, go for the Surf, which is an easy two-shot, as they will go for Sword Dance, and we get the KO, which is fantastic. Force not Terra out, which is completely fine, and they do decide to forfeit, which is fantastic. Very close game right there. I think I had that game pretty much under control, which is good for the most part. And let's go into the next one. The next game up here, again, very scary. Especially with the lower Ninetales plus the Titan, doubling its speed with the Aurora Veil. Definitely gonna keep Amy alive this time. They could potentially lead with Ninetales, but they could also lead with the Gliscor. But I'm just gonna lead off with Amy, predicting Ninetales, and this time I'm just gonna go straight for Gigaton Hammer and then Blick Break later on. If they do go into Gliscor, we do have a Dapper that completely walls that mom. And with the knockoffs and Earthquake, we are immune to the Earthquake. Knockoffs not going to do that much to us. I don't think we need the Rock Helmet in the long run. Summer also looks to be fantastic this matchup too. Just go wait for the opponent to make a move. So cut back once they decided on their first month. On our fourth battle now, unfortunately our opponent decided to make a move. Very disappointed. Hoping for a good match right there. And we do have some massive threats in this opponent's team. Beating Heatran and the Glimmora and the Gliscor potentially too. So here's where I need to make a bit of a prediction now. Do you think to go lead off with Heatran? Is that the Stealth Rocker? Or is the Glimmora the Stealth Rocker? I'm going to predict either Gliscor or Heatran and go into Marina. As it is going to be the Glimmora, we have to switch straight into Amy here. I do not want to risk Amy, do not want to risk Marina getting any type of damage. As they will go for straight for the Sludge Bomb, we can just go for a Gigaton Hammer here. Could also go for the Brick Break and then the Gigaton Hammer just in case they switch out. But no, they do decide to just go straight for the Momentum, which is very interesting. I don't normally see that move quite a lot. But this does just bring a safe switch in. They do decide to bring a Gliscor. And I actually want to stay in here and go for the knockoff, as they will just go for the Earthquake and unfortunately get the KO. But we can now just go into Dapper and fire off a couple of strange themes. We should be fine from this position, as they will reveal Dual Wing Break, so it is a very offensive Gliscor. And they are taking too much damage, combined with Rocky Helmet, as they will reveal the Air Balloon on the Heatran. We will go for Springer's Team. We'll switch straight into Marina, as they will just set up the Stealth Box. There's no reason to predict just yet. We will just go straight for the Surf, as they will just go into Rotom Wash. Get some nice bit of damage, and unfortunately do not have a great switching into this one, so I have to just go into Dana here, as they're most likely going to go for Full Switch. Yep, as they do go for Full Switch, that does a lot of damage, does make me think it's a lot more offense than defense. Probably Heatran's going to come back out, and honestly I do want to get some damage off on this one, so we will just go for a nice Tree Spec Shadow Ball, as they will just go for the Flash Cannon. We can just go into Marina at this point. This time we just go for the Moonblast, predicting the Rotom to come out again. As the Rotom will come out again, we do a lot of damage to the Rotom. At this point we'll have to go into Zero here, as the Gliscor most likely comes back in. But we're not in a great position at the moment, as no, it is the Dragonite. So we can opt to go for knockoff, and if they go for Dragon Dancer, we can go for Encore afterwards. As I will just Normal, we get the knockoff on the loaded dice, which is very interesting. They are most likely going to Extreme Speed here. So there's two options. We can let Zero go down, which I really don't like that option. And then we could also let Summer go down here, and then bring in Dapper. I think that's what we have to do here. Or just let Zero go down. Or we can tell her, I don't think tell will help. We just go for the close combat, as they will opt to Extreme Speed. We can just Pain Split this damage right off, as they will just go for another Extreme Speed. We will take it, get the nice Pain Split off. We still have Summer in the back. We can now just go for Will-O-Wisp. We do have our Levitate, which is fantastic. We get the burn on this one. We can just go for a nice String of Steam again, as they will get wore down by the Rocky Helmet. We get the KO on the Dragonite, which is amazing. Just very scary matchup at the moment. As the Heatran will now come back out, we have to go into Marina here. We go for a Surf again, in case they want to over predict that we go for Moonblast, predicting the Rotom to come out. As the Rotom does come out, we should have just, we honestly should have just stayed in right there. We will just go for the Moonblast now, knowing that they got the full switch. We do have Summer in the back to really heal Marina straight back up to full. as they will now go into Gliscor. This should get the KO on that Mon, which is fantastic. As they will now just go into Rotom again, which does make perfect sense. Summer should be able to take one full switch as they get a quit, which is so unfortunate. I don't know if the quit mattered, but it's very, very unfortunate. Especially now, their own Marina can definitely just come in here and finish the game off. So again, very, very close game. We can just go for the pain split right here, but it really does not matter in the long run, as they can just go to Falcon Aura. We can go into our own Marina, go for a nice surf. But doesn't. We should have just went for Moonblast right there. Unfortunately, very, very close game. And let's go into the next one. Here's our next battle up right here, with a very interesting team. Massive threats definitely being Moltres, the Golden Fire, just for defensively. Great Tusk is most likely going to be the lead here, so we're just going to lead off with our Dapper. As they do lead off with Great Tusk, we will just go for Will-O-Wisp, as we will miss. We'll just go for Defog here, as they do bring in the Moltres. And we can just go into Marina. Pretty safe play. They don't have the best switch-ins into this Mon as well, but they do just predict that goes for the U-turn. And they bring in Comfey. So it's probably going to be Carmine Store Power. So we have to just go into Amy here. As they will just go for the Carmine, we can just go for the Gigaton Hammer. As they will, we do force a Teller, which is good. But again, still a massive, massive threat. We can now just go for the knockoff to get rid of the leftovers. Then just go for another Gigaton Hammer. As they will opt to go for Giga Drain. And we get the KO on the Comfey, which is fantastic. As they will now bring in Moltres, we can always just go back into Marina. If they go for U-turn, that's fine. As they do opt to go for Fire Blast. Unfortunately, do get the burn right there, but we do have a very powerful surf coming. As they will go into Gorging Fire, which does take that so well, so it makes me think it's very, very special defensive. So I'm very, very scared of a potential Dragon Dance here. So we will just go for Moonblast, as they will just go for the Earthquake. We do lower their special attack. We can get Marina back to full HP with Summer. So the revealed Earthquake. So we will just go back into Dapper here, as they will go for Raging Fury. Which is very interesting, especially it's not contact. But I do want Dapper around for the Great Tusk. Do we still need Amy this matchup? I don't think we do. We can just let Amy go here. And then we can just go into Summer. Just go for the Air Power. We know they're not choiced in any type of way. And we barely miss out on the KO, and Summer unfortunately goes down. Which is very unfortunate, especially now Marina cannot get back to full HP. Potential massive misplay on my part right there. Oh, that's so unfortunate. We have to just go into Dana here and opt to actually click Thunderbolt. Because Dana can definitely take on the Moltres. Just in case that's what they switch into. They do decide to switch into Corviknight, which is honestly fantastic. We get the nice Thunderbolt in, which is lovely. Not so worried about the Golden Fire now, just because it is at 1%, and showing that they switched out. As they will now just go into Great Tusk here. We will opt to go for Pain Split actually, and then opt to just go for the Defog, as they will just go back into Golden Fire. We can just get the KO with a Strange Steam. Get rid of this Mon, which is fantastic. They are forced into going to Moltres here, and at this point, unfortunately, Marina will have to go. We can then bring out Dana, and then opt to honestly just go for the side shot, predicting the Great Tusk. as they do opt to stay in. They are very speed investment. So we just go for another side shot, guys. Unfortunately, they do miss their Fire Blast right there. We do end up getting the KO. We might have to let Dana go down here, and then Zoro can come in, and then we can potentially just win with Dapper. So we can just go into Zoro right now, go for the close combat, and get the KO, which is fantastic. Now they will just go to Great Tusk. We can just switch back into Dapper here, as they will just go for Earthquake, and we do win. Unfortunately, they did miss the Fire Blast. Again, it does happen though, unfortunately, as they do decide to forfeit. That's a nice GG, and let's go into our final game. Here is our final game, and it's against a pretty potent Sun team, which is very scary. We're actually going to probably lead off with Summer here, predicting the Ninetales. As the Ninetales does come out, we can. Is there a point to tell her this early on? I think there actually is. I don't think any other teller can really help us in this situation apart from maybe Marina. So we'll actually just go straight for Teleground Air Power, and instantly get the Tech KO on the Alolan Ninetales, which is fantastic. Once the Stuntan's gone, they are gone for good, which is absolutely fantastic. They will now just go into Hisuian Lilligant. We can just go into our Dapper here. No reason not to, as they will just go straight for the Solar Blade. We should be able to take that. That does a lot of damage. We will just go for the Will-O-Wisp here, and basically just hope that we can store out these Sunturns, because once these Sunturns are stored out, as they will go into Great Tusk, which is fantastic, because now we can just go for Strange Steam, and then we can possibly get a Pace Split off later on, especially when it depends what type of set the Iron Valiant is. As they will go for Headlong Rush, we are Levitate. So we can just go for another Strange Steam. As they will opt to go for Knockoff, which does make sense. Very good that the Great Tusk goes down, but very scared of the Entei now. Not a Gorging Fire, as that is most likely going to come in here. No, Walking Wake decides to come in. Okay, we can just go into Marina. Hydro Steam still should not be doing too much to us. Yep, we can now just go full Moonblast. They have no switch-ins into Moonblast, apart from the Gorging Fire, as it is Photosynthesis attack, but it is a nice 2-shot KO. So we will just go for Moonblast again. We do take an Earthquake, which is fantastic. We get the KO on the Gorging Fire, and the sun is now gone. Summer can definitely go for Healing Wish on our Marina, as they will switch into Walking Wake right here. I think in this case we have to let, unfortunately I have to let Dana go down, as they turns out to get a crit on the Hydro Steam as well. Dana would have been able to take another one. But we can honestly probably actually just sweep with Summer now, right? We can just go for the Moonblast play. No, definitely won't go for the Healing Wish route. So we just go for the Healing Wish, as they redo force their Terra out as well, which is fantastic. We can now just go into Marina and just start firing Moonblasters still, as they will just keep going for Hydro Steams, and we do have a chance to get a special attack drop, and that is a nice clean 2-shot KO right there. And we get the KO, which is fantastic. So it's a potentially 4-2 today. Potentially. And we have to go into Dapper here. I want to keep Amy nice and healthy for the Iron Val. We've already forced their Terra, so we don't need to worry about the Terra on the Iron Val, as they will get the crit. Unfortunately, we will have to go for Pain Split here. And especially if they do want to switch out. And if they do want to switch out, it does tell me that they are most likely more special. But no, they do just end up decide to stay in here. We can just go for the String of Steam now. So yeah, we can just go for the String of Steam now. As they do just decide to go for the Ice Spinner, we do get the KO, but that bet is very much too low now. We could potentially try to get a Pain Split off here. But I honestly just want to go for the damage in case they do want to set up a Calm Mind if it is. So it does seem like it is more special attackive than attackive. So now we can just go into Amy, go for Gigaton Hammer, and that should be game. As they will go for Close Combat, so it was a mix-up. And that is GG. Very, very close games today. Awesome that we've got a finally good record with 4-2. This team is very, very risky, very high rewarding too. Just that some threats are very, very potent, and I just need to figure out them a lot quicker than I have been. But a nice 4-2 today, and I'll see you back on the MVP screen. Back on the MVP screen, and today's MVP is still Marina with 22 KOs. Very, very good. Honestly, the team's very close together. Marina's a bit out there with 22, but the others are at least they're all in their 10s and above. And it's honestly really awesome to see. Had a really good day today. Unfortunately, didn't have that one game with that on the third matchup, which was a bit unfortunate. They did re-challenge me. I did not see it, and then they cancelled it. I tried to re-challenge them back. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. That could have been our last game. But yeah, awesome to see. Nice 4-2 today. For nice win to last week's show, which does pull us back up to even now with the team win to loss ratio overall. So hopefully we can keep it up. Definitely made a bit of misplays today, but not as much as yesterday. Again, should have kept Amy alive during the game with the Iron Valiant, so should have kept them more healthy. Definitely got to start looking at Iron Valiant as a massive threat. But as a whole, I think the team's doing very, very well. I think the Tower Steel was a very good choice for Dapper, especially against the Dragonites. As well, was really, really awesome to see. And yeah, hopefully this win streak can continue. And with all that said, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.